Last time on Dice Paper Roll, Curse of Strahd, evil was stirring in the land of Barovia. 4, maybe, might be, heroes, if they could ever stop being so shit, were thrown into the lot together as they responded to a letter about vampires.
Glad we shelled out on the American narrator.
Yeah, that's good, huh?
And it was the second letter, actually, that gave them the true meaning of what the first letter meant.
But was it the second letter, or was it the first letter that they got
can't
first?
remember.
Who knew? It was a perfect horror setting. 4 characters who you will meet shortly. But most importantly, who could forget classic Warlock, Crabclaw, and everybody's favorite backwards conjoined twin manservant, Franklin and Jerry. We find our party stranded after their wagon hit a pothole and they fought against a whole bunch of direwolves. What's that? Oh, that's the picture from last
That's the
week.
picture for Franklin.
A picture of
This
Franklin
side.
and
Jerry?
We'll post that with, oh my God, with this
episode?
I'm sorry.
Hey, thanks, narrator man.
No problem.
A thick fog swirls superly through the tall pine trees of the Svalich wood. It oozes its way in currents and eddies between the trees, sapping the lights, drinking it in, filling the land with a grey darkness. The fog swirls and moves between the trees until it comes across a clearing. A pile of wolf bodies steam in the mist, their torn open carcasses emanating heat into the late afternoon. And around it stand 5 figures.
Well,
Four,
Five
and
and a
then 4, and then 2 become 1.
Technically,
Yeah.
the 2 become 1 are sort of lying on the ground injured, right?
4 figures stand around one larger figure on the ground. So through the mists, a figure walks forward, and you can see the silhouette of these characters. Let's describe what those silhouettes look like.
So you can see Dr. Bertrand von Such.
He's got a name tag on.
He's got a name tag. It's white over
It's
his
reflective in silhouette. I can read it.
over the top of his long black cloak. He wears a tall stovepipe top hat. Round spectacles, very pale complexion, and a cane. His hand rests on a cane. And his manservant, Franklin and Jerry, stands hunched over nearby. They're
still in a
conjoined twins, but at like sort of the waist, but one torso in front of the other torso. So it's kind of like one torso laid over the top of the other torso.
Good for tunnel balls, sir.
Not so much for leapfrog.
Next to the Baron.
They're also wearing a pantomime horse.
Ah, true,
Yeah.
yes. In horse costume.
Yeah. And beside Baron von
Dr. Bertrand von Such.
Dr. Baron von.
Dr. Baron Bertrand von Suchen.
Dr. Baron, yeah. Name's going to get longer and longer.
stands well, it's hard to tell if it's standing because it's the silhouette of a 4-foot crab that is also 4 foot wide, wearing a bowler hat. Not Ebola, a bowler hat. Yeah. Clicking claws.
Just clicking claws in
Yeah,
the air.
just
clickety clack.
just a victory dance of
Just superheating the fog in between its claws.
And you can see on his breast a tag that reads curly like the horse. And it goes to the next silhouette.
The next silhouette.
Standing very similarly heighted to the Baron, the Doctor, is
Thank you.
is the figure of Giacomo Cloghart. He's a paladin, half elf, and his silhouette is unremarkable. So I'm not going to remark on it.
And next to this unremarkable captain figure,
Vague blob.
The short, droopy-eared stature of the goblin cleric Ragyog, cleric of Lathander, gasping after the fight against the direwolves, but kind of happy that he healed Raglan and Jerry because those guys are a good laugh.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Bertrand von Suchensuch holds out his hand, and his small bat gravy comes back down out of the sky after circling above and lands on his hand.
the
Does
thick
it hang upside down?
Yeah, just he holds it his wrist out, but like a hawk, but then he just droops from under.
The thick fog carries the smell of death and it swirls around the clearing, and a figure approaches. Do you wish to enter the clearing, or how do you see these figures in the distance?
Do we?
No.
No.
No, because I am a rogue assassin named Epermia Phosphine. I sense and smell all of the death. I see the monsters, quite frankly, in front of me. I don't know if they're friendly. I don't know what they are. So I'm gonna maybe take a little route. So I'm a bit behind. I'm gonna crouch behind a bush. I'm gonna move around and see if they're friendly or not.
Well, Crabman, that was quite the battle.
Yes, it was. It was quite a crabby battle.
You all have some amazing moves, especially you, Mr. Warlock, man. That was some classic Warlock shit if ever I've seen it.
I totally remember what I did the last time, and it was sensational.
As I'm listening to this conversation, I realize that the danger is not imminent.
What are we going to do about this broken wheel? We can't walk through this fog.
Not sure, but I'm ready for a celebration drink.
Oh, didn't Curly get stuck on as the wheel at the
That's
end
right.
of last episode?
We were contemplating it.
You're mounting Curly as the
Yeah.
wheel, and as you're mounting Curly, the figure emerges from the mist. So, what does the figure of the assassin Mo look like?
Yeah, no worries.
Not to us, obviously, but to the,
I step forward into the clearing, completely feeling like I am probably more of a danger to these people than they are to me. And I say, "All right, mates, I'm Mo."
Good God.
What? Who goes there?
Mo is if Captain Jack Sparrow went to a hippie festival like Rainbow Serpent.
I don't know what you're talking about, little man, but I'm intrigued.
Oh, yeah. All right then, mates. Good, having a laugh here, are we? There's quite a lot of wolves you got there. I see. I was just in the neighbourhood, you say, mates, and I maybe overheard. Maybe it was a bit of a drink going, a bit of a
There might be. Are you?
a tipple.
I like the cut of your jib as he
Just to
pops the
wet my
cock-a-hoop of his barrel and takes a swig and then passes it to the newcomer.
Are you,
it's-
Why aren't we using that as the wheel?
Because I can't drink you, Crabman.
Oh,
I must say, the roadside assistance responds very quickly around these parts. Thanks for coming so quickly. What was your name again?
Just call me Mo. It's
No.
it's fine. I'm also a lady. I'm pretty sure.
I wasn't sure, given the travelling cloak and everything else.
I'd like
Plus,
to be
it's not
ambiguous.
usual for a lady to be walking by herself in the woods at night.
Yeah, so, but I'm pretty well armed, is what I'm saying. And then she just flails her arms wildly.
They are excellent arms.
Thank you
are
so much.
very
Look, I can
good
do this
arms.
octopus thing. Are you ready for it? Power.
Whoa, that was very.
You're welcome. All right, it's 5 p.m. somewhere. Bottoms up.
I don't know about you, this here Mo. Do you happen to know anything about these letters that I also forgot to bring along with my character sheet?
Letters. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I got one too. What a coinky dink.
Is it from the Burgermeister?
Yeah, Dave Straight's from the Burgermeister. Yeah, he knocked on my door last week and gave it to me and said, I'm a Burgermeister, here's a bloody note for you, and gave it to me.
Hungry
And,
Jack himself.
Yeah.
Your new nemesis.
I tell you, it was quite a hefty letter. You could have said it was a whopper, sir.
So, my nemesis has been passing out letters to you as well, has he?
Oh, nemesis, eh? Oh, what do you do?
So many
He's my
vouchers.
sworn enemy. The Burgermeister. I must
don't-
destroy him. It's my mission.
Ah,
You
right.
compare the two letters, and they are identical. So they're the.
Oh, you have a voucher as well. I'm looking
Ah.
forward to this whopper.
I thought I got into Hogwarts. Oh, well. Next time, eh?
The fog begins to close in around you.
No,
as
you need a needle
feel-
to get into Hogwarts, I'll tell you that.
as you
They don't
feel
like
the,
it.
the sun setting and the cold begin to creep in, and it's getting darker and darker, and you begin to hear wolves howling again in the distance.
Should we
Time to go?
Should we go or set a fire?
Yep, them doggies ain't pretty at night, I tell you.
They're certainly very dead.
I feel like we've
No,
just...
there's many more that are alive. So the only thing.
Really?
Yeah, that's what all the howling is.
Oh.
I mean, we dealt with those last ones just fine, but I'd really rather not face them again.
Now that we've put this wheel on, I say we go find the Burgermeister straight away.
Yeah, let's bugger off out of here, boys.
Rightio. Well, Franklin and Jerry, take the reins. Everyone else in the cart except for you, Crabman. You're the wheel.
You see,
Franklin and
Mo-
Jerry finish ironing up the horse costume, put it back in their rucksack and hop
Yeah,
on top.
both the actual horses for our wagon are crushed and bleeding out. They're dead. We don't have live horses.
Oh, that's
Okay, they finish
right.
iron-
Well, Franklin and Jerry, chop chop.
They finish ironing the horse costume and put it back on in readiness to pull the wagon.
Straining with the heavy wagon filled with 3 people and the awkward wheel of a crab person.
Does it work like a motor where you get to put some momentum into it?
Yeah,
Really, what's the torque like? That's my
Well,
You just
look,
push off with your legs each time you come around.
I
Wheels.
think I don't know because you had to create kind of an insert on the back carapace. I think so. It's kind of a sort of
They just gaff tape you.
yeah.
It's a bumpy ride.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
If it doesn't work with gaff, you're not using enough.
So the carriage bumps along slowly and uncomfortably as you wind your way down
More
the
for some than
road.
others.
Pardon?
More for some than others.
Yes, more uncomfortable. Yes, you feel your shell cracking a little bit
Yeah.
as you bump down the road, and so ahead the fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road are high stone buttresses looming grey in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework, and dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. 2 headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate. Their heads now lie amongst the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence as you bump down the road between them.
Ah, they have no heads.
It'd be an excellent site for ghost tours.
Well,
Good choice.
they were very tall statues. Wow.
And
Not
as
a
the
good way to
wagon,
lose one's head. You know what I mean?
as the wagon bumps through the gates,
Let's neck it. Come on.
you hear a screeching of rusted iron, and as you look back, the gates close behind you with an almighty clang. The wagon bumps down a decline down the side of a hill, and before you,
Poor Franklin and Jerry at the front.
they're running to try and keep up now. They're just trying to keep ahead of the wagon, and ahead of you in the late afternoon grey light, a valley has opened up. So there's mountains that run on either side of this enormous valley, and in the center a rocky plinth stands tall above the base of the valley, and on top of it, a huge Gothic castle strikes up into the sky, and dark grey rolling clouds fill the sky as far as you can see, and thick twisted woods and forest lay out in front of you. A rushing river runs the length of the valley, and you can see a town ahead of you down at the floor of the valley just before the castle.
Question. It's nighttime, right?
No, it's late afternoon, coming to evening.
Good. Yeah, I remember that from last episode.
Time operates strangely these parts.
Yeah.
Dr. Bertrand von Suchensuch coddles Gravy in his hands and then releases him out the window. So this bat takes flight from his hands and to scout out ahead of us in case any kind of danger is present.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus, Top Hat, you should warn someone before you do that.
Your eyes aren't going to roll back in your head again, are they? That was rather frightening last time.
Oh, did that happen last time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very awkward, isn't it? At the moment, I'm feeling quite all right. I was just a little bit wheezy last time. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm just glad you're okay.
Dr. Bertrand, can you please roll a d20 for me?
Great, his eyes roll back into his head.
No, I want him to pull out a d20 from his fucking pouch.
No, that's not good. That would be just... is there anything that I'm adding?
Nope.
No, that's just a 3 on the die.
So Gravy flies ahead of you and sees no
Fog.
threats or
Mostly fog.
anything, just the uneven road as it wends its way down into the valley, and the Franklin and Jerry barely keep the carriage under control. They're basically like straining to hold it back from crushing them as it goes its way down the road and levels out into the valley. So,
Hope it's not too bumpy back there, sir.
Oh, no, it's quite all right back here. Thank you very much, Franklin. Or are you Jerry? Which one are you?
Franklin, sir.
Okay, good to know.
the carriage bumps its way down the road, and you can see the town growing closer and closer, but very little light seems to come from the windows of the buildings. So, the fog swirls back in, and then suddenly the town is upon you. So the dark buildings of the town suddenly stand out around you in the night, and you feel the cobblestones appear under your feet. The wagon begins to bounce and rumble down a street, and
Come
those
on,
cobblestones
Curly.
are very, very hard.
Curly tries to compensate for the bumps, like lifting the claws appropriately as sort of like a suspension type thing. It's not very effective.
Can you make a dexterity save for me, Curly? Yeah.
That's real good. That's real good.
I see a single-digit low number over there.
You had to contribute.
The lowest of them.
That's a 4.
Is that a
Plus a 1?
It's a 1 on the dice.
It's a 1 on the dice, yeah.
So you start to it's really hurting.
Yeah.
Being the wheel on the cobbles is very different to in the mud, and you feel it starting to. If you keep going, you're going to get hurt.
Curly feels himself slipping off the axle and lets it happen.
So you topple, and the front of the cart, the carriage crashes into the ground, and sparks shoot out as the axle grinds into the cobblestones.
Ow! Owie bowie!
Mentioned I had hemorrhoids.
Does anybody need healing?
Oh, sorry about that, sir.
Oh. Franklin?
Oh yeah, can
Jerry,
Franklin and Jerry make
Franklin?
one of them make a dexterity save?
Jerry!
please? Is he crushed by
Jerry's behind.
Is he crushed by Franklin?
Franklin's behind.
Oh well.
As according to my...
by diagram?
Diagram.
That's a 10.
I think you should show that diagram to Lauren.
Yeah, so Franklin and Jerry just managed to leap out of the way before being crushed by the carriage, but Jerry is buried under Franklin.
Two torsos in front of one another. When they bent over, it's a
One
weird-
set of legs.
Mo has just really looked very hard at what Franklin and Jerry are.
And that's
Saw
it.
that in a tavern once.
That,
Only just the once. After that, you don't sleep right afterwards, do you?
that's them in chair position.
So when
You learn
when,
to sleep, says Jerry.
So
when
they're in
there's a
horse
pantomime
position,
horse,
I guess
then-
they're going backwards. They're like walking backwards.
I imagine
Because
like
Franklin
one of
is.
them
We
has-
definitely covered this last
Yeah.
episode.
I think one of them has their hands on the ground and is the front legs, and
The other one's the head.
the other one's just the legs.
It's however you imagine it, listeners.
Yeah.
Also, I think Franklin has like the fake legs hanging over the side of the pantomime horse as well. So it
Really
It
adds.
Really,
If you like these jokes, check out last week. We made them before for the first time.
I can't stop staring at it.
So as you tumble out of the carriage, remarking and stretching and clutching yourselves, you notice that the sound that you're making is just swallowed by the dark buildings around you. Further down the street, through the fog, you can see light spilling out of a large building, but around you, the windows of all the houses stare out from pools of blackness, and no sound except your own cuts through the silence, except for a mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance.
By Dolara's perfectly formed eyebrows, this place is sinister. Yeah, that's not helping it either.
Jerry, stop it! Stop crying!
It's not me, sir.
Franklin, are you crying?
No, sir. I think that might be the locals.
It's definitely not me.
It's not me. I haven't cried since I was a baby.
Curly lights a match on his carapace. Has everyone left the carriage?
Yeah.
Okay. And he chucks it at the cart because he's very angry with the cart. He really didn't like the cobbles.
All my things are in there! Franklin, Jerry, quickly, get my things, get my things!
Jerry,
What are you doing?
Jerry pulls.
Yes.
The already wounded Franklin and Jerry.
Jerry pulls out a firefighter's costume from their rucksack and starts to put it on.
Never mind that, just get my bags!
Oh, yes, sir, right away, sir.
You can't just send them into a flaming carriage.
They're not your servants. I will send who I want into a flaming carriage if I want.
It seems that you cheaped out on the cost of the carriage seats, and they're made from man-made fabrics, and so they go up really quickly.
Is man-made fabric as in made of man? Is that
Yes, it's made of
Mo just
men.
wanders over and just warms their hands by the open flames. That's toasty days.
first class Foley? Listen to that.
Yeah, wow, Ben.
Well, I hope no one else has their bags in there. Whatever, you know.
The carriage goes up in a huge pillar of flame, which eerily lights all the buildings around you, and you can see these peaked roofed houses line the street, and ahead you can see one of the doors is slightly ajar. And
Hey, look, it's Jim Morrison.
It's half Jim, and he's just Jim's head on a glass jar.
You still hear
Half a
the
jar.
crying coming from further down the street, and you can also still see the light spilling out of a larger building. As the fire of the carriage grows, it lights the street more and more, and you can see that the building further down is a tavern.
Good riddance. I hated that carriage.
Said Curly.
Inside Curly's head.
Does Curly say said Curly?
Yes, yeah.
Inside Curly's head, you hear Bertrand von Suchensuch's voice. And he goes, "You will pay for this."
Oh my god.
Do you also hear inside your head that bit explaining that it was Bertram von Suchensuch?
Yes, and this is Bertrand von Suchensuch, and I am saying to you, you will pay for this. Ooh. But my lips aren't moving. See, if you look over at Bertrand von Suchensuch, my lips aren't moving.
Curly,
Is Bertrand just like, ooh, look at my mouth.
He's drinking water.
That is some ventriloquism. I will give it that.
You can't hear it.
He says in Mo's head.
He says,
No one else. Bertrand von Suchensuch's voice starts appearing in everyone's head, and just like, no, you can't hear what I'm saying to him. You can't hear it while he's still drinking a glass of water.
Welcome to this week's episode of Classic Warlock.
in Curly's culture, they believe that covering the eyes means you can't hear stuff. So he covers his eyes
makes sense.
with his claws, and it doesn't faze him.
Amazing.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Let's find that weeping person. What do you think?
Sounds all right. I could use some cheering up, maybe, or
Sick of
I
these.
don't know. You guys are pretty funny. Think they get a bit of a kick out of you, especially you, Crab Man.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm right here. You just said that to a brick wall. Just on the other side, turn left, turn, getting warmer.
Wait, I
warmer,
shouldn't have
getting
been able to
warm,
hear you.
Real hot.
You were covering your eyes.
It's just the culture. It doesn't mean it actually works.
Yeah,
It's just what they believe.
yeah, that's true. Curly opens one of the crab claws, and the eye twists around to look at you, Mo, and he doffs his hat.
Are you hitting on me?
No, and then he crab walks away.
Snippity, snippity, snippity.
Isn't it just he walks away?
Yeah. You don't have to call it a crab claw every time. It's just a claw. We know you're a crab, all right?
So I'm looking
keep
for the
this going.
source. I'm looking for the source of the weeping, and I rolled a 19 on the dice, but my investigation's a -2, so 17.
You can hear it's coming from ahead of you, and you follow the sound, and you walk down the street, and you come to a crossroads. So these tall grey buildings, peaked roof houses sort of loom around you, and the only light comes from the huge burning carriage behind you, and the light spilling from the tavern to your left. So you're in the crossroads. You can see down to the left there's a church at the end of the road with a large graveyard, and to your right there's another smaller building with light coming from the windows, and the crying seems to be coming from further down beyond there.
Do I recognize the denomination at the church?
Do a spot check.
What?
Religion?
No, you want to see if you can see it through the.
I just want to know what
Perception.
the denomination of
Perception.
the church is.
Yeah, see if you can see the symbol.
Okay, cool. Well, if I was to do a religion check, it'd be -2 as well, so it's the same thing. 10 on the dice, so 8.
Okay, so through the mist, you can't make out the holy symbol that's on the church. You can barely make out the shape of the church.
Now, where did I put my glasses? And he's looking through his pockets.
But I left them in the carriage. I think I saw them on the seat.
Good God, you're here too, are you? Well, you can tell me. Have a look.
Sneak up next.
Yeah.
Can you make a perception check for me too?
That is 20 all up.
Oh yes, okay. You can see the symbol.
A burst of flame, like of the something in the carriage that was clearly very flammable goes
glasses.
off, and the
A mushroom cloud, like
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
you blow the gas canisters.
Yeah.
Of this.
Jerry and Franklin go flying through the air.
Oh, yes, we left them there. Oh.
illuminating the church.
Did you say church Illuminati? What did you say?
Don't say it again. Don't say it too loud.
Tom Hanks comes
dollar
running
bill.
out of the church.
Look,
Tom
when
Hanks?
You, when you make it, it looks like that the Queen's giving
poor
a
Tom.
blowjob to a whale. When you just fold the money in half.
Not familiar with that religion.
Yeah, so you can see the symbol on the church in the flare of light, and it is the symbol of your god,
Oh, the morning lord.
Ragyog, the Morning Lord, the Lord of Morning,
The lord of morning.
the glorious Lord of Morning.
Good kind of morning.
Yes.
Oh. I don't know if I want to go straight in there.
What about that crying? Let's check that out.
Is that where the mourning's coming from?
No, I think it's coming from just down the road. Next one. See that open window?
Still a bit embarrassed about the fact that he worships Lathander, even though the holy symbol is right on his chest.
Wait a minute.
Can Curly see the symbol on Ragyog's
Yes,
chest?
you can. Yep.
Hey, is that?
No, it's not. It's
Is that
not.
the same?
Oh, it's cold out here, isn't it? And Ragyog closes
seems-
their cloak.
Fairly ominous.
It looks the same, mate.
No, well,
you see what's on the chest? This is what's on your chest there.
No, a lot of
You got something you want to tell us? Or
Well, yes, but the lot of the religious logos people copy these days. You see, it's look. Oh, what's
There's
that
a
crying
scream
down the
as
road?
Franklin and Jerry arc over you in flames and drop into the street nearby. So sobbing echoes from down the street, and can you all make perception checks for me? Yeah.
Are we all down the street, or is some of us
Yeah, you're all at the
looking at the
crossroads now.
burning carriage and all the possessions?
15.
Yeah, is anyone left at the carriage?
Looking at their burning possessions.
4.
Yeah, sure. Old mate, Dr. Bertrand von Suchensuch, after the enormous explosion, was like slammed back against the nearest building after all of his jars of. Is it formaldehyde? All the stuff
your
like where
jars,
you
man.
contain.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has all like kind of body
Collection
parts
of
and stuff.
antique tongues.
Yeah, they were all in there, and they've just all gone up in smoke. He's slammed against the wall of the nearest building, but he's not with the rest of you.
You actually slam into the door of the nearest building, and the rusted hinges of the door give way as you slam into it, and it screeches open, and you fall into a darkened house. And as you hit the ground, you sort of roll back into the stairway that leads up, and as you look up, the door slams behind you, and you're plunged into darkness.
Oh, good.
So we'll just leave you.
This is good.
there.
Oh, this is real. Franklin. Jerry. Oh wait, no, they went flying through the. Oh shit.
They're cartwheeling.
So what did you guys get for your perception checks?
1!
15.
Curly was still holding his claws
Didn't
in
hear
front of
anything.
his eyes.
Yeah.
Didn't hear anything, see anything.
Rolled a 1, didn't you?
He rolled a 1.
And a 4 for Mo. So
Perceptive.
Ragyog, you hear the squeak of a rusty wheel approaching from ahead of you further down the street. So
In the direction we're traveling towards.
yeah, so you've entered the town and you've come across the crossroads, and to the left is the church, to the right is another light and the weeping, and ahead of you is a darkened street, and you can hear the squeaking wheel and footsteps approaching from ahead of you.
Do you hear that,
What is it?
Mo?
Hear what?
Something's coming from down that
I don't
dark
hear nothing.
passageway. What about you, Mo?
Not even close. What are you saying, mate, right now? I
There's
just,
the cat like somebody's coming from just that way. You,
Get
what's
Yeah,
that?
nah.
pastries.
I think you're imagining things again.
Get your pastries. Get your pastries.
Curly's claws snap open. Pastries?
I've got your
Is he saying pastries?
I am quite hungry.
Pastries?
I could do one then.
I could have a pastry.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
have a pastry.
I mean, I do have like a wheat intolerance, but you know what? It's time.
A hunched over figure bound in rags pushing an old squeaky wheelbarrow emerges from the fog and darkness, and there's a pile of pastries, of pasties in the wheelbarrow ahead of them. And you see an old, like a huge jutting chin and nose covered in warts, sort of peeking out of the raggy visage, and lank, greasy hair. Would you like a pastry? Would you like a pastry?
Yes, please.
Curly is frothing at what you all think is his mouth. It's just bubbling. I'll have a pastry. And he takes one.
She reaches out and her gnarled hand caresses your carapace and it's a dirty, sort of bony hand with filthy long nails, and they sort of scratch along the carapace as she pulls your claw away from the pastries. One gold piece first, young man.
You have such soft hands.
Thank you. I moisturize daily. Would you like to purchase one? Give me. Should I just reach in your foamy pocket here and get the pastry money?
Yes.
That's not his pocket, madam. Here's
She's
the gold.
too busy
Here you go.
rustling around in there. She takes out a sticky hand and takes the gold.
I'm like,
You throw it at her, basically.
like,
Just drop
holding
it.
it between finger and thumb. I know I shouldn't be judgmental of appearances, but you smell lovely, man.
You drop the coin in her hand and she snatches it under her rags and she takes a pastry out and hands it to Curly. Anybody else like to test my pastry?
I think I'll watch him eat his first.
Yeah, he's definitely a guinea pig crab. A guinea crab?
Guinea crab.
Guinea crab.
You like my pastry?
I'm not one to judge, but that looks mighty unhygienic, and I'll be leaving quite the Yelp review if it doesn't pull through.
Curly starts rubbing it on the top of his carapace, just sort of rubbing it in. And then
Well, you know what they say: the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And Giacomo turns around and looks back towards the weeping woman window.
Your knowledge of baking, Giacomo, you recognise that these are not very nice pastries. And so Curly, you smear the pastry all over yourself?
yeah.
Would anybody else like to try? Nobody wants. Goodbye then. See you later.
This is a pleasant interaction.
She squeaks off into the darkness and you hear her knocking on a door. Hello, get your pastries, help you dream. And she squeaks off into the darkness.
That was a strange aside.
Worth it, though.
I'm sure that it won't come back to haunt us at all. Shall we continue on to the weeping woman?
Giacomo opens the gate and walks into the front yard of the building with the window open with the weeping coming from it and knocks on the door.
Okay, so you head a little bit further down the street. Is everyone following?
Yeah.
Does anybody notice
Oh,
missing party member?
Apparently
Curly
not.
tries to count with his claws.
Doesn't notice.
1,
One
2,
two.
3.
Giacomo's passive wisdom is only an
4.
8, so I don't think
All
so.
right, we're all here.
think we're all here.
I think we're all
Okay,
here. I
so-
count 4 and york them claws there. It's happening.
In the darkened house, you are, Bertrand, you are on the stairs. You can feel them pressing into your back.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, all right.
Considering there's a flaming carriage right outside, the darkness in here is unnaturally oppressive. Like you can't see any of the flames around the doorway or through the window. Even though it's like greasy and filthy and has curtains, you should still be able to see some light.
Can I tell, because as a half elf I have dark vision, so this is still like completely black, so it's like magical darkness kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are Franklin and Jerry?
They went flying through the air with the explosion.
Not in this room.
They're in another
Not in
street
this room.
somewhere.
They're like somewhere else in town.
They might have ended up in that lady's pastries, I reckon.
Sorry, it's not a magical darkness, but it is grey and you can't see the flames through the window. So it's like
Right.
something, it's weird, right? You immediately notice something very strange. And as you're sort of rubbing your back, you look around and you see tiny pairs of red eyes begin to appear in the darkness. all around you.
Good. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm very sorry. I was blown through your door. And yes, I found myself in here. Would you mind I'm just gonna, sorry to intrude. I'm just gonna quickly head on out
Hundreds
this
of
way.
eyes begin to appear all
I'm really
around
gonna
you,
just, like, keep
and
on-
just- they start to get closer and closer.
He runs to the door and starts pulling against the doorknob.
Give me a strength check.
Give you a strength check. Oh, that's good. I only have a -2 in that one.
Amazing.
The weird old Undertaker looking guy doesn't have a strong strength check?
That would be 7 on the die, so that is a 5 for the old strength check.
You scrabble at the door, but you're unable to open it, and you can feel the presence of hundreds of creatures, which you think might be rats, approaching you from behind.
Can I feel gravy?
No.
My bat.
No, you cannot feel
I can't feel gravy through even. Oh, this is real bad. This is.
Piercing scream.
Oh no! This isn't the way I thought it was going to be. Okay. Hello.
Do any of us hear that scream?
Hello, great old one.
No, you don't hear it.
Great old one. And he'll start calling out towards his patron.
You reach out to the many-headed god Patreon for guidance.
That's right.
And I'm just going to leave that right there.
Yep.
Can we take a short break? And we'll be back again in just a moment, but we're going to just take a little breather and see you in a sec. Welcome back to Dice Paper Roll, Curse of Strahd. This is episode 3. We're back from a little break where Danny, as Dr. Von Such, consulted with his patron,
Patreon.
where you can join up and sign and support Dice Paper Roll. Patreon.com/Dice Paper Roll. Did you have some good suggestions there, Dan?
Yeah, it's not just a gimmick. We've actually been using our break talking to the current patrons to get suggestions for what doctors should do.
Yeah, I put the feelers out, and Patreon has handed it out. I've gotten a couple of good suggestions, so I think, I'm looking forward to incorporating this whole kind of mechanic.
Yeah, cool.
Getting Patreon involved in the actual game live. It's awesome.
You can do this too, and also control the fate of Dr. Von Such and the rest of the party if you sign up to Patreon.
Yeah. Until I die. And then that's on you.
And then you'll have to roll up another warlock.
That also worships the Patreon.
Yes.
But we'll have our character sheets up there. You'll get early access to the games as well as all the stuff we have for the other show with the Type 5 and co. So
little bit of Patreon-only content as well.
We'll be popping up my little sketches from the back of my sheet.
Character sheet.
They're filthy, so I strongly
Prepare
suggest signing up.
thyself.
Yeah.
it is worth at least $1 a month.
Yeah, at least there's filth, absolute filth. So my name's Greg, and I am the dungeon master for this campaign.
My name's Ben. I'm playing Ragyog, a goblin cleric of Lathander. Greasy battered hair and a dirty average mace in his hand. Don't fuck with him, because he sounds like John Howard a little bit.
Do you want to borrow my... Here's a hanky Ben for no reason whatsoever.
Thank you.
My name's Emil. I play Emil Freund. I play Giacomo Cloghart. Captain Cloghart, the head of the Cloghart's Pies Empire. Figurehead and business head, one and the same. He is currently decked out in all white attire with epaulets and like Captain...
Epilepsy?
Nope.
Oh,
That's no laughing matter.
yeah. No, you're right. Go on.
Could be a roll check, but
Let's do a sponsor point.
that was the pies being, the pies giving people epilepsy was never proved in court. He's a patron. He's a patron. He's a paladin, and his god is Dol Ara.
Third level Patreon.
Yeah, he's a third level patron. He gets to see all of Jack's NSFW content. It's behind the paywall.
Jack scribbled fed.
It's definitely not canon, but it's very, very dirty.
Yeah, and that's him, Captain Cloghart.
The stuff that no one would pay him for.
Or would they?
Except for you.
Except for you.
Just the sloppy seconds. My name's Lauren Bock, and I am playing Epomia Phosphine, or just Mo for short, because that's a long name that I'm actually struggling to say.
Is it Epomia?
I think it is.
Okay.
Epomia.
I don't know. Look it up. Look up what Epomia is, and then you'll start to see the depth of my sophisticated sense of humor.
Playing
She is a rogue assassin human type thing. No bells and whistles as much, but she's covered in bells and whistles. No,
she's got a minus 20
she's got a
to
bunch
stealth.
of. She's like kind of a bit of a piratey hippie sort of look, long cloak, rags thrown everywhere. She's got a couple of big old swords, some daggers. She's also pretty.
Great arms. She's well
I'm
armed.
like pretty armed, like Michelle Obama style arms. Like there's some pretty jacked. Never misses arm day. Misses every other day. The body is a mess.
Tiny legs.
But, she puts all her effort into her guns. But she doesn't have guns. She has swords and bells and whistles.
Effort well spent.
Thank you.
I'm Dan. I am playing Dr. Bertrand von Suchensuch. He's very pale half-elf in a long black cloak, a very tall stovepipe hat, round spectacles, and a cane at his side. And he worships... he's a warlock, and his patron is Patreon. patreon.com/dice paper roll. Nailed it. As we've said previously, I will incorporate what Patreon tells me to do as my patron, and that is Dan.
And I'm Jack. I'm playing a crab man named Curly, who's a monk, a crab monk.
Like the horse.
Like the horse.
What is he wearing? Clothes?
Yeah, well, I'm in a name tag apparently.
Yeah.
And
Curly like the horse.
also a bowler hat.
What color carapace does he have?
Oh, it's sort of it's a heat sensitive carapace, so like a mood ring.
like a mood ring?
Yeah, it switches between red and blue.
Excellent. That's so good. I'm going to ask you what color your carapace is all the time now.
Yeah,
What happens?
When you're angry, when you're and you're a
Somebody's
monk, so
feeling
you're
holy.
gonna be kind of like always blue. Could you
Yeah.
stand
Stand on
Zen?
2 legs?
Oh, it's
Or-
actually currently 5.
5.
One is growing back at the moment.
Okay.
Is that how crabs work?
Yeah. Do they grow littles back?
Lizard crabs. Anyway.
I'm just checking. I just want to know how deep a dive you did on the crab research, Greg.
This crab definitely is how that works.
So I know you wanted to be a marine biologist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you find
That is how crabs work. Yeah. I did the research. Don't look that up.
we find ourselves back in the village of Barovia, and Dr. Bertrand von Suchensuch has found himself blown into a house by an exploding carriage filled with formaldehyde tongue jars. And you were blown through the door, which slammed closed behind you, and you're now in darkness, scrabbling at the door with hundreds of beady red rat eyes around you and getting closer. And you reached out to your patron, the many-headed Patreon, for help. And suddenly the whispers begin to enter your mind in this dark place. Animal handling check. Ride the sea of rats. Honestly, I've always been a fan of a convenient pocket cookie or 10 when faced with a swarm of rodents.
That's so good, Alex. Try to make friends that night? Then fight?
Yes, very good, Bob the Furby. And I liked Rob Dogs' suggestion earlier as well. Quite good.
Go full Pickle Rick on the bastards.
Yes. Oh, Oh, that's Rob. Just full of good ideas. How about you, Tezza? Anything to say? Tezza, have you? Tezza, Tezza, are you in here?
Become the new Rat Lord and make them your minions.
Rat King.
Rat King.
The voices echo around your head.
Don't Google that. As Dr. Bertram von Such scrabbles at the door handle and then reaches out towards his patron, he puts a hand in the pocket of his doublet and pulls out a cookie, and then like.
What kind of cookie we talking?
Yeah, what's
I'm just
the-
thinking.
Subway cookie,
Yeah, right. More- how-
apple, cinnamon.
I'm thinking like
Sultana.
Get fucked.
probably like.
Get the
Be
fuck out
chocolate
of
or
here.
fuck off.
You need a bit of sugar in there, and so I think it's got to
bit?
be like a chocolate chip, but then like with like caramel, that like caramel ripple
I
kind
want
of
it.
almost
I want
thing.
that cookie.
You know, like so
It's
it's a super good cookie.
It's
Do
like
you know
a-
that Sultana and oat cookies actually have the highest sugar content? Just unrelated.
Shut the fuck up, Greg.
All right, new dad.
Told you about this.
Do you know, I've often thought that like sometimes caramel kind of tastes like sultanas.
Sultanas, yeah.
What? Get out
Yeah.
of town.
Anyway,
It's burnt
sorry,
butter.
on the DM. Moving on.
Yeah. So he holds this caramel ripple chocolate chip cookie in his hand, and he starts breaking it into smaller bits and starts sprinkling it on the ground in front of the rats and creates like a circle. And he just keeps on like
chocolate.
pulling more cookies out of his pocket. And
that
Is the
Making
purpose to make
caramel
them your
like
friend?
this?
what's that?
Is the purpose
tastes
to
like
make them your
sultanas.
friend or to distract them?
Fucked.
Did you know that sultanas and oats have more sugar in them
Get
than
fucked,
chocolate and caramel?
All the other rats jump on that rat and kill it.
Caramel spilling from its guts.
Oh dear, I'm trying to watch my figure.
I'm not having any. It's a 2-day for me.
So are you trying to distract them or are you trying to make friends with them?
I think
dive
I'm trying to make friends. Oh shit! I'm trying to make friends with them, so I keep on
Right.
pulling more
Give me an
cookies
animal handling check.
out of my pocket, and I form a circle around me, and then I draw a pentagram out of cookie crumble all
Okay.
around me.
Animal handling check,
Animal
please.
handling check, please.
Oh, I sure wouldn't want to be handled right now. I'm having too much good time with my chocolate.
Oh, absolutely! I'm too full of sultanas. I've really hit the jackpot. It's sentient rats.
Only 90 calories a biscuit.
Oh no, that's not good. Animal handling. Oh Jesus, it's a 3 on the die. It's a 3 on the die.
You draw out the pentagram with the cookie, and as you're doing the crosses of the star with cookie dust, you draw right across yourself, and the swarm of rats just following the cookie crumbs.
Oh, it's all in my
clamber up
shoes. Oh no! Oh
into your
God!
clothes, into your trousers, up under your doublet, all up
it's
in
warm
your
under here.
space.
You know what's good about a 2-day?
What?
What?
Nothing.
You're allowed to eat meat, says the rat as it bites into his side.
So the swarm swarms up you and just begins biting you all over. You take 7 hit points of damage.
Well, does it have to hit?
Yep, it just did.
Okay.
They're basically in you, bro.
Yeah,
up
they're
in your
all
grill.
over me. Okay, I
in your
guess.
guts.
I
Pirouette?
shit. I don't know. I slam myself against the door to try and like get as many off of me as I possibly can, and start to go full pickle Rick on them.
Yes, amazing. There's like a carpet of rats all around you, and they're running up and down your legs. Give us a just give us a strength check or a dexterity check. You pick.
What does construct entire bodysuit out of rat bones?
rat
check?
bones.
What's that? Is that animal handling?
Yeah, I think so. Sleight of hand.
Sleight of
maybe?
hand.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand.
Oh Oh my god, it's a 1! Oh no! Dr. Bertrand von Such is gonna die to a swarm of rats.
Oh my god,
Acrobatics, it's a 4.
You run headfirst into the door in your panic, and you slam your head into the wooden door, taking 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you reel backwards.
Alright. Okay, I know what I need to do.
The rats bite at you again. 20, does that?
Yeah, that
hit?
definitely hits, yeah.
So that's another 7 points of rat damage as they gnaw into you.
So it was 4 on the first one.
7. So you've taken 18 points so far.
18?
Yeah, that's 2 rat swarm bites and a 4 from the door. Baron von... Dr. Bertrand von Such collapses under a swarm of rats and everything goes dark. And that's where we're going to end today's episode of Curse of Strahd.
Did I just get fucking eaten by rats?
Yeah, you just did.
I'm out, aren't I? I'm out. That's that. You,
I mean, it was a great character, man. At least
Sir,
at least you
are you
got
in
your
there?
there?
It's me, Jerry, sir.
And Franklin.
We managed to construct a parachute, sir, out of the horse costume and landed safely, but 3 miles away. The door swings open.
The door swings open, and they see the unconscious form of Baron von Such, Dr. Bertrand von Such, covered in rats as they gnaw into him, and they are greeted by the horrific sight of the rats pulling the doctor's eyeballs out of his skull and burying into his abdomen as they claw their way in, their heads dipping in all red and covered in gore.
You know what I was thinking, Jerry?
I'm Franklin, actually.
He's got our pay.
That bastard.
Well, you control the legs. It's up to you.
Fuck it. I'm going on an adventure.
You know, I've always wanted to become a family band, truth be told. I've never said it till this moment, but...
Jerry? Do you know I've always thought the same thing?
Jerry pulls an accordion out and plays them out.
As the door creaks shut behind them, locking them in the house with all the rats. So it's like locking them in darkness as the accordion plays and rats swarm all around them. Oh, amazing.
Well done, Greg, on that episode. Beautiful work.
Well done.
Yay.
Well, Danny, you forgot your character sheet this game, so it's only fitting that you actually die.
Yeah, fair enough. I did get it, but yeah, no, it's like I'm all for it. It happened.
It did.
It happened. I got blown in there, and then I rolled really shit.
Yeah, you had a very unfortunate run.
Well, that was good use of Patreon.
Thanks, Patreon. Oh, this is going to be
I'm
interesting
dead.
to explain to them.
Explain to
So
them
you-
now, but
so-
they won't hear it for 6 weeks.
Thanks for your money. Anyway.
Well, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone, for the game. Thanks, Greg. Thanks,
Thank
Stan.
you.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Emil.
Oh, hey,
Thank
no
you,
worries.
Emil.
Chuckers. Oh, wait, no, you're saying that at the start of
Took us for next week for
Took us for
everyone.
next
In a
week,
fortnight.
everyone.
We'll see you in a fortnight.
Hey, new character.
Yeah.
If you want to describe what Danny's character should look like,
Yeah.
jump on Patreon.
100%. I'll put it straight to him after this game.
Yeah, so that didn't work. So what if I said that didn't work? And actually, I'm going to need a new character.
That's good because I kept wanting to call him a Baron anyway. It was too difficult.
Yeah.
Have a reverend next time. Go on.
What's up, rollers? It's Greg here, DPR's least emotionally available Dungeon Master. I hope you've been enjoying Curse of Strahd so far. Today we're going to share with you the dissection, which is a little bit where we talk about the game that was. Now, usually this is available on our Patreon, but we go into some pretty important topics today, so we thought it was important to share it with you. If you like what you hear or you're really enjoying the show and you want to help to support us, you can jump on www.patreon.com/dicepaperroll. There you can find all sorts of great content, DM notes, our theme music as a ringtone, and dissections for all of the Curse of Strahd episodes, along with some really high definition art that Jack's done, and you know, just the warm, fuzzy feeling of knowing that you helped us to make Dice Paper Roll. So without further ado, here is the dissection.
Danny, first character death
First ever.
for you playing ever.
Yeah, 100%. We've always it's
Death's never really been that real of a thing, has it?
Yeah, it's never like when we were playing 3.5 edition, we always came back. You never were really in chance of dying, and to a certain extent, it's being honest, it's can be a little bit of a flaw within DPR that it's kind of always never really felt dangerous.
I mean, it's felt pretty dangerous for me.
That's true. That actually,
Fair cop.
Fair cop. You've died a couple of times. Well, those who have played properly. Never.
But yeah, but this is dissection, and it's time for honesty. That's the whole purpose.
For the characters that wouldn't chuck a massive hissy fit.
Yeah,
if
if they're
Well, to be fair, the other three of us are DMs, so we kind of have control.
yeah, I can control it. Yeah, but I think it's awesome. I loved in that moment working with Patreon and asking for what they were actually using, their suggestions and that kind of thing. And as it turned out, dice rolls were shit house. That's on me. That's not on Patreon. That's on me.
It's on the.
100%.
Hey, Danny, it's on the dice. Don't
No,
take
I
it
think if you want to
personally.
dial it back, it's really on Curly for lighting the carriage on fire, which exploded you into the building.
Oh, well, if I really want to put it, I thought that I was walking along with you, and then Emil started sending me these hand signals
Listen,
where
it
he
was
was
your choice, Danny.
stovepipe looking at the fire, all this stuff. And I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? And he's like, play with this. And I'm like, okay, all right. Oh, no, yeah, I'm back there. And then I was blown into this room where then suddenly there was 100 rats in there.
He's saying I killed your character.
I'm saying you killed my character.
Nah.
I really like the
Flat out.
idea that this is actually the origin of the Tui's ad. You know, where the tongue crawls along on the ground?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a throwback.
If you're from overseas and you haven't seen the ad, it's very YouTubeable, I'm sure.
Yes.
Just type in Tui's tongue
Tui's tongue ad, yeah.
What was the song from that? Was that the?
It's probably copyrighted, not sure.
Push me.
Oh, yeah, yes. That one.
Oh, Eric
Like
Price.
get eaten by rats.
No, Satisfaction's Benny Benassi. It's Benny Benassi. Yeah. He knows. His name's Benny. Yeah, that's the one.
All the Bennies know each
Yeah,
other.
well, you would.
You know how they have a hive mind of Benny?
Don't tell me you don't know Lauryn Hill songs.
Push me. And then
He also knows Benny Hill.
you can't see me right now. I'm actually
So sad that Franklin and Jerry went with
Did they,
the
though?
Baron
Didn't see a body.
No, he didn't see a body.
There
They
was
did
just
have
a
an
fade to
accordion.
black.
It's canon. They had an accordion.
Yeah, they did have.
I mean, there is still hope. I mean,
actually-
maybe Ragyog will hear and come running to the rescue. Probably not.
Do you know,
No, Ragyog.
I quite like the character arc of Jerry and Franklin. They've kind of come into
It
their
was a lot
own.
more full than Dr. Bertrand Von Such.
Is your bat just flying around still?
Gravy.
My favorite gravy, no!
Maybe they could have helped you.
Wouldn't it just
I
drop
tried
from
to
the
reach
sky?
out to him, but I couldn't sense him.
Did he sense you, though? That's the question.
I was like, oh, maybe I can use my bat to go to you guys.
What's that, Gravy?
And
Dr. Bertrand
as a
von
warlock,
Suchensuch is
I
dying.
can speak through gravy. So you could have had a bat come down.
I've seen
and
you
then
at
it would have
Christmas.
been
You can
Dr.
speak through
Bertrand von
gravy as well.
Such talking through him. But
Trouble at the old mill? What?
Yeah.
what's that? Little Timmy's down a well. Oh, no. We gotta save Dr. Bertrand.
So how are you going to appease the patrons now? The mighty god Patreon.
Just almost fell over.
Everything's okay. Everything's okay.
That's a danger of when you try and do
Literally on the edge of his seat.
I was
standing
in
podcasting.
transfixed.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna just put it to Patreon and just be like, all right, give me a character, give me a class and a race, and
You're
I
speaking to
think
them
it
now
can-
because this is Patreon only content.
But how long did you spend building Bertrand?
I don't know, a weekend.
How long did you spend building my character?
Another weekend.
Another weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in like Frankenstein style.
No, because like when I rocked up last weekend, Danny was like, "All right, we're gonna roll these things. We're gonna do this stuff." So he spent more like I don't know.
More time teaching you how
Yeah,
to roll up your character
yeah.
than it
So,
took him.
sorry, Franklin and Jerry were. They were. We said we called them conjoined twins, but really they were just stitched together, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
It seems
Yeah,
like
they were an
I don't know.
eagle.
him with
right?
His
a
name's
whole-
Dr. Bertrand von Such. He's got a
and
whole bunch of
of jars with formaldehyde and
sutures.
tongues and weird
Stitch,
shit.
suture and suture.
Yeah. Maybe you could come back as a Such and Such like
The
family
R
member.
is silent.
Sutures and suture.
That's how you
yeah.
get it.
Can he come back as a zombie?
What if, or
What if-
another Such and Such family member in
if-
search of
Oh,
Such
yeah?
and Such?
What if Franklin?
villain.
Or just like a low-level zombie that everyone can.
Yeah.
I'm just going to turn you.
Yeah.
As long as Danny plays him for the game.
What if Franklin and Jerry come back later and then sew him on?
Oh, no, very good.
And you don't
He
control the
doesn't have any.
legs.
He doesn't have any
Your own
eyes,
character.
and his abdomen is gone. So it's basically like his arms. Do you need more arms?
Well, yeah, it'd
On
just be another
Ben and
pair
Jerry?
of yeah.
No.
Well, it's definitely not
Do
going to be our
Franklin and Jerry
eyes.
just like lobotomize him and put the brain, like replace the brain.
Yeah, maybe.
into-
Or maybe they just put him on the back, just facing backwards.
Is this the origin story for Curly?
Like a
In
spine.
terms of how he got so many legs and so many body parts. Oh,
I mean,
just
Is,
one old
is
stitch
Curly
up,
a
mate.
rat king on the inside? They're stolen a crab shell.
no,
Maybe.
but it's a good
Three
idea,
kids in a
guys.
raincoat.
Hey, I'm just throwing out offers, all right?
That is
Not
the
blocking,
Yeah,
but
that is the best way to block. No, but it's a good idea.
Yes.
no, but no,
No.
no, please,
Yes, and?
no, no, but never.
No, but don't.
I don't want to stomp on any good ideas, but he's a crab.
I've been waiting for this for 4 years.
Yeah.
Damn it!
He is not a secret rat.
Oh, great game.
Yeah, so
Great work,
spooky.
Gregor.
So super spooky and scary.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
We didn't have you for the character creation episode, Lauren. What was your I don't know. What did you think about when you were thinking about coming out with classes? Or
Oh, nothing, because the first time kind of making something up, so Benny had to walk me through it, screen sharing over Facebook.
Funny that you ended up an assassin rogue.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to make a little mini me.
input?
I have no experience in that whatsoever.
I think
You got the same stats in
crazy. I think I just wanted to keep it simple. I think because I'm still such a baby D&Der that I didn't want to throw myself too many weird things that I didn't know how to use properly. So
I can
that, and
relate.
there was a slight consultation about what we had already. So it was like, what would work good, and then the idea that Strahd is a little bit human-y. So I think. You know what? I'm just a people pleaser. That's what I wanted to do. Just
then
wanted
it
to
ended
make
up-
everyone happy.
Ended up the only human in the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
right. I just
Yeah.
remembered you telling us about how like everyone hates anyone that's
Non-human.
non-human. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
gonna be.
I mean, that's what it
This
says
is
in
a
the
good
book.
forum for that, Greg.
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
talk about that now.
Yeah, that's what it says in the book. But
Hang
You
on.
must be
For
very
those who aren't
racist.
for those who aren't aware of what you're talking about, this campaign.
Curse of Strahd is
Yeah.
a D&D Wizards of the Coast module.
Yeah.
Chris Perkins, I think, wrote it.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I didn't realize he wrote.
Yeah. Or he was the lead on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, super cool. Ravenloft, if you've heard of Ravenloft, that's this is this setting. So it's a full adventure. I plan to sort of deviate a little bit, but I have run it before, so
We will
know it.
deviate it. As
Yeah,
well.
we will
Yeah.
deviate it.
Just a
You don't
smidge.
need to
Just a smidge.
do any of that.
But the people of Barovia are quite xenophobic. So they're distrustful of strangers, and they're bigots. So I was playing with how do I deal with that, right? Like, do I explore that, and if I do, like, how do I portray that in the game in a sensitive and thoughtful way? And I was chatting to some of the group, and as a middle-class, cis, white, tall male, I think it's probably not my place to make commentary on it, and I am just going to take it out of the game because I don't.
Doesn't add anything to our enjoyment of it. In fact, it detracts from our enjoyment of it. I think of the playing.
Yeah, and I just don't think I don't think it's appropriate for me to sort of explore that through this game. I don't think it would be like a real representation of, exploring this theme. And I just really don't feel comfortable doing it. Yeah, I as much as I support Black Lives Matter, Slab from Emil, and we on the podcast has been vocal about that. I just don't feel comfortable exploring that.
I think that's totally fair.
I think it's very wise.
And-
yeah.
Yeah, there's been enough like white folks feeling like it's their time to put their voice forward, and I think it's probably time that we just shut up and let people who've actually experienced racism to a significant degree have their voices heard on that particular issue.
At the same time, racism is not fucking cool. And, we can be really vocal about that. And we think it's so not fucking cool. We don't want to put it in this entertainment that we're
Yeah,
making.
I don't want to be in a position where I'm likely to make jokes about it because it'll not
Yeah.
find it funny.
No.
Yeah, it feels like not that we would be insensitive if we approached it in game, but it would really make the feel of the podcast sometimes you take a complete right turn, which there's nothing wrong with at all. But I think you're right, Greg. It's like, well, if you're not comfortable with it and we don't feel that this forum is the place for it, then we
As
can do
the
it.
DM, like, I mean, you can understand how it's like, well, you are the conduit for this story. You're the one that's trying to tell that, and you're trying to do that to us as players to have that kind of reaction to it, to condemn it. But, as a DM, you're 100% within your right to say, well, I just don't want to fucking say that kind of shit.
Counterpoint:
It's fucked up.
Could
I don't wanna
D&D be
say
a
that.
good forum to explore how to be a better?
I absolutely
100%,
think
yeah,
it
it
is.
can be.
Absolutely, a
Person?
forum. Yeah, to be
Yeah.
a better person and to understand. Like, I think it's brilliant for helping you to understand other people's perspectives.
But do you feel a bit like,
guys.
I mean, as a player, for me, it's like, hey, you look around, whitewashed, like we're all white. Like, we can't really, we can explore it, but we can't speak from experience,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, exactly, and it comes back to what
We
you're
can
talking
speak
about.
from experience of being an observer, which is
Yes, yeah.
if you go entering a setting where the populace are bigots and your character isn't, or your character might sympathise for whatever build you've got, whatever. You would then be an observer, so you can empathise with that, and you could be a tool. Just, I'm not suggesting this for our game; I'm just spitballing, but it could be a tool to explore how to better deal with it and diffuse and act and behave.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as funny,
No.
probably.
I feel like it's a slightly higher purpose than
Yeah.
than the game that it is that we are intending to want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, which doesn't mean we don't support.
Yeah, we should practice
Yeah.
that in real life and keep
Yeah.
D&D.
Yeah.
I think that's been an important aspect of our games, though, as well. I don't want to seem like a shit bloke saying it, but in terms of like when we've come together, it's like we're not going to talk about real world issues in our game because we come together to play the game sometimes, so we don't have to deal with that as well.
I mean, we do tackle. I mean, it's not fucking Citizen Kane, but we do. I think there is like inherently in any fantasy or fiction, you're dealing with we're dealing with all playing different. I mean, I guess they're technically different species.
Imagine Citizen Kane as a podcast.
D&D has a history with being kind of quite racist.
I mean, you choose a race.
Yeah.
It's literally
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
the main choices you make, which is...
and
It's written right into the story
Yeah.
here. And tough one.
Yeah. Well, I guess really the thing is you don't choose a race, you choose a species.
yeah,
But it's written as race.
Yeah.
It's the
and
title.
and
It
it is
turned-
what it. Yeah, it is.
Where was
Race
it?
and class.
Yeah. Race and class.
It's right there on the label.
How could that possibly be problematic? So, thank you for sponsoring us, Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, anyway, we love you, Wizards of the Coast. Great module, but we just,
It's all right, Greg. This is behind a paywall, and they're never going to be.
We got well past the paywall a while ago.
Where was Gary Gygax from? He's like,
Minnesota.
yeah,
Minneapolis.
Yeah, like middle of America, like in the
Pretty sure he's from Minnesota.
yeah, right,
I don't know,
Minnesota.
one of the mins.
Yeah.
Min Max. That's where it came from. It's a D&D deep cut there. Thank you.
That is indeed.
Ha 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 ha! That's a very funny joke of you.
I made it for you.
I get it so much. Oh, I feel
Look, it just hit me. It hit me, all right?
It's what
did hit you.
it's what playing a human rogue is. Min maxing. I wasn't that. No, it's not. I'm just.
Oh my god, you did it again. I'm so. It's amazing. You should do
Really?
comedy.
This is an expensive meal.
Gary Gygax was born in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. No, that's where he died.
Oh,
We're getting there.
Well, good to know.
Slowly, Patreon.
Born in Chicago, Illinois.
what percentage of people do you reckon die on their birthdays?
William Shakespeare.
I wonder if it's disproportionately high.
That
or low.
percentage.
Yeah, like do you reckon it's
That's a percentage.
A
William
Shakespearean percentage.
Yeah.
1 in a
Well,
million.
It's a 1 in 365.
A Shakespeare. A Shakespeare.
gotta be,
There's a
right?
chance, right?
Do you reckon? Do you reckon it's
Shakespeare.
higher or lower than that?
I think that humans are pretty cyclical. I would say that it would be a weird, like near your birthday.
Anyway,
at least.
guys, as much as I think you're probably enjoying this discussion about whether you...
Oh, the minute that me and Jack want to talk about something, all of a sudden it's like, let's wrap this up. Okay.
Well, I think
Fucking
Greg has to
fine.
go home.
I actually
but,
have to go
um,
home.
okay,
yeah,
right.
sorry.
Sorry.
But possibly also many of our patrons have used this to help them go to sleep. Good night, patrons. Tonight you will
Good
dream
night,
of
please.
orcs and dead warlocks.
Yeah, as the rats chew their
Sweet
face.
dreams.
Gore-covered rat faces. Anyway, thanks for listening.
As Franklin and Jerry play the accordion.
Kisses.
Kisses.
Come and tuck me in. Can you carry me to bed?